Yes people, what's going on? How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days once again. Unfortunately, I had some unforeseen circumstances come up and I had to go back to being a hot dog salesman on the streets of Zimbabwe for a few days. But we're back here today. I don't know why I'm doing that. You can't see anything. It just sounds a bit weird over the mic. But nonetheless, we're back here today talking about how to go from being an Apex Legends Platinum tier player all the way up into being an Apex Predator, the best of the best on Apex Legends Ranked. As you can see on the screen, I've just made Pred again. I'm going to hold Pred again, and basically I'm going to guide you through my journey of what it took for me to get from Diamond 4 all the way up into being an Apex Predator. And obviously this is about going from being a Platinum player up into a Pred player, so basically we're going to be talking about all of the things that Plat players do differently to Pred players and high tier Diamond players and Masters players, and hopefully get you guys from those Platinum tiers up into the Diamonds, Masters and Pred tiers. Now you may notice I've said the word tier a lot here, and that's not the only type of tier you're going to be having. There's going to be lots of tiers along the way, because it's a pretty painful experience playing ranked on Kings Canyon right now, so get ready to go up the tiers, whilst tears roll down your face because you're crying because of how painful this is. Sounds like fun? Alright, let's get into it. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content coming your way. And trust me when I say the stuff coming over the next few weeks is insane. You're not going to want to miss it. Just trust me on this one. If you don't, you'll probably see me in your recommended and you'll be like,
damn, he was right.
So I want to ask you straight up, what is the difference between a Platinum player and an Apex Pred player? I'll give you like a few seconds to think this one over. Okay, so basically you've probably had a few seconds by now, like pause the video and stuff if you need more time, like this isn't a school essay or something, but basically a lot of you will say, well, Plat players tend to miss more shots and they tend to be a bit bad, where Pred players, they don't miss and they ape everyone and they kill everyone. And yeah, it's true, Pred players are going to have better accuracy for the most part, and a lot of that just comes through playing the game more, and honestly, Plat players, they can have that too. Like, they don't all suck. Like, you guys in Plat, you don't suck. This is why I'm making this video. You can make changes to your game to get you up into the Diamond, Masters and Pred tiers. Like, if I didn't believe this was possible, I wouldn't be making this video today. So, although some of you will be saying the Pred players are just miles better, it's not always the case, and even when they are, doesn't mean you can't make it there yourself. So, the first thing I want to say is, there is hope, okay? There is hope. But you guys who play down in Platinum, as soon as you make the jump up into those Diamond lobbies, like, I think at the higher end of Platinum you end up actually queuing into some Diamond lobbies. Not all the time, but sometimes you'll be playing against Preds and Diamonds and Masters, and you're going to notice the difference between those Gold, Silvers and early Platinum lobbies, and I want to focus on that difference here. So making the transition up into actually high-tiered rank lobbies is part of the problem for a lot of Platinum players. It's quite a big jump in skill, and that is the transition I'm here to help with. So when you think about those Gold, Silver and early Platinum tier lobbies, you think about likely fair fights or fair 3-on-3s and potentially getting third-partied. At least on World's Edge. On Kings Canyon you may be getting third-partied a little bit earlier, and there may be 3-way or even 4-way fights, but a lot of that happens in high tier rank lobbies as well. In fact, you can't really take a fair 3-on-3 in a high tier Diamond plus rank tier lobby without being third partied, and this happens all the time. So that's the first thing I want to get into your head. You're not going to be getting the fair 3-on-3 fights, so the best thing is probably just to avoid fighting altogether unless you can get a clear third party. So the first lesson I want to tell you Platinum players and low tier Diamond players is that you can't just push anyone in Kings Canyon. You're going to pay the price if you take a push in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the map, completely in the open, in the start of the game, or even in like the mid of the game. You want to be getting your points from contesting people off the drop in 50-50s. These kinda suck because you can get absolutely played by RNGesus.
Howdy, partner.
But trust me when I say taking those early 50-50s is a way better option than trying to take a mid-game fight, because you're going to get collapsed on by a ton of teams and it's just not going to be a fun experience for you, especially if you're underlooted. So, Platinum players and early Diamond tier players, you need to focus more on the importance of your rotations. What a lot of Platinum teams do and Diamond teams do is they waddle around the map with no real aim, no real end point. They just kind of walk towards the zone, and if they hear shots in the distance, they might consider third-partying it if they think that they can potentially wipe. The difference between a low-tier Plat team and a high-tier Pred team is that a Pred team will know exactly where they want to rotate to, and they will start their rotation as soon as they know where the ring is. More often than not on Kings Canyon, that rotation will be the same. If it's a northern ring, then you're going to probably rotate to the same position of power that you've identified that you like to play in, and the same goes for if the ring is south, west or east. Alright, on screen you're seeing some weird artsy version of Kings Canyon's map. It's all different colours and stuff. It looks like it belongs in an art museum, but basically this is to help you guys understand the hot areas of Kings Canyon and the areas that are pretty much a little bit safer to rotate through for the most part. Marked in red are the areas that we classify as absolute no-go zones. We will not run through these areas at all, and if we're forced through them, we will get out of these areas as soon as possible, because a lot of fighting often happens in these areas, and the chances of being third-partied or just condensed on by a lot of teams is extremely high, so we avoid these areas at all costs. The green areas are areas that we rotate through often in order to get to where we want to go, and the orange areas are areas that you can probably run through and potentially loot fast, but you don't really want to be staying in these areas too long either, because they also have potential to be quite hot as well. What a lot of you Platinum and Diamond players will soon realise by playing in these lobbies is that you might rotate through a little bit late, you might take your time, you might even fight a few teams along the way, but as soon as you get to where you want to go, that position you identified as being a strong point, there's a high chance that a team has already rotated up there and will be gatekeeping you or holding you off, and as soon as you've been spotted, it's going to be very, very hard to get out. So the lesson to be learned here is to rotate as soon as possible, as early as possible, to get those strong positions for the late game when they will really count. Now I'm going to address the elephant in the room here. Yes, Corsic is an elephant. I think he needs an elephant skin. I think that would be absolutely amazing. But regardless, the point is, Caustic, Revenant, Bloodhound, these are all three very strong legends this season. You might be seeing Wraith on some of the gameplay as well, because we experimented a lot during this time because finding the winning formula was incredibly hard, but Revenant and Caustic proved to be vital in getting us to Pred this season, and a lot of people, they don't need this or they don't think they need this, but if you're struggling and RP is the only goal and you really don't care about kills and damage, I would recommend that, by the way. Only focus on the RP number, not so much your kills and damage along the way, but regardless, Caustic is a really, really good versatile legend to have on Kings Canyon. As I've mentioned already, you can get swarmed by 3, 4, 5 teams very, very quickly, and to have Caustic there is a blessing. If you can find a building in those situations and gas up, you're essentially denying a team that entire building whilst also keeping them off you, just for enough time to heal up and potentially sit and stay quiet whilst that team fights another team or another third party or someone else gets involved, because, like we keep saying, that is very likely to happen on Kings Canyon. Having an extra protective layer of free third partying with Revenant is massive as well. And of course that plays hand in hand with Caustic, as you can use the Caustic traps to defend the totem if you put it in a good enough spot. I wouldn't really recommend putting the totem out in the open unless absolutely necessary, so if you're inside a building, just gas up the building and people are going to find it incredibly hard to push the totem, and you're going to have a free rev send in which you can deal significant damage. Now the last piece of advice I want to give to you Platinum and Diamond teams is to have patience. If you hear gunshots and you hear fighting happening, just have patience, let it unfold, see what's happening first. You don't have to rush in as soon as possible, because a lot of these teams, they will do exactly that. They rush in without thinking of the long-term repercussions of what they're doing, and they end up getting themselves killed, or they might even get the points but they end up losing anyway because they haven't thought about the fact that they need to rotate because of ring, or the fact that there's another team waiting to third party them. Essentially, more times than not, it goes wrong, because you're not thinking far enough ahead of the game. You need to be thinking long term, not just short term. And sure, there is time and a place for instant reaction to push a fight, but more often than not, you have to think slowly, you have to think tactically. Just don't ape everything, because more often than not, it's not going to work out for you in these high tier lobbies. But guys, that is the end of today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below what rank you currently are in Apex Legends and where you want to be by the end of the season. I'd love to know where you guys are in and about in ranked right now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take it easy and goodbye.